Hello all you wonderful ladies and gentlemen, this is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you very much for lending me your time and your ear listening into another video from me. And this time I'm just, no introduction whatsoever. That's just going to be gone. Like the normal video introduction, basically. That's gone. And the title matches exactly what you see above there, where it says Nintendo NX mass production postpones to early 2017. The title in and of itself is a problem. As you can see, that this article came out yesterday, and it's the same people who have been writing the bullshit that I've been debunking with Digitimes. The exact same people wrote this shit. So you know you're in for something entertaining. I'm just gonna read it off and break down each point as best as I can using common sense and somewhat logic. I'll break it down each time I do it with everything I come across I think is noteworthy to break down. Okay. Nintendo next generation game console, the Nintendo NX, is scheduled to enter mass production in early 2017. Okay, first of all, we don't know the fucking name of the thing. You cannot call it the Nintendo NX when it is codename NX. It's Project NX. It's literally a code name. It is not the actual final production name. And I'm getting tired of these damn... Oh, they're fucking stupid. Delaying about half a year from the company's original mass production plan in mid-2016. Okay. If this I'm just going to drop some logic on you here. If this thing is supposed to be dropping next year, it's already in production now. They're already putting together units now. They've already finalized the name at this point. They might not have announced it, but they finalized their name at this point. And they have production going on this. They can't wait until the end of this year or the beginning of next year to start producing these for mass production. Especially if they're trying to launch early next year and it is a worldwide release. It'd be stupid of them to wait till the last minute to have production lines try to rush shit together, because that's how you get fucking malfunctions and failures. That would literally be the cause of that. Sources from the related upstream supply chain pointed out that the delay was because Nintendo wished to enhance the game console's video game / handheld game integrated gaming experience, and to add virtual reality function into the system to gain advantages in the upcoming video game and mobile game competitions. Now, let me get this straight. I'm just freeballing this here. But if what you say is true and it is a hybrid console, which I would like it to be, you're already running into a situation where you're utilizing two screens like the Wii U did. Throwing VR in on top of that is not going to be advantageous for anyone. Reason being, if they are doing this last minute, as I said in the video yesterday, it's going to take them more than 6 months to do this. Okay, even if you tack on from now to November, that's 11 months. It's going to take them more than 11 months' time to put together a VR headset, have a working prototype of that, and then refine it from there. It's going to take them at least 1.5 years to 2 years to do something like that. That's not something that they can do in 6 months. Even with having a strong basis for it with the Wii U gamepad, that's not something that they're going to do in 6 months' time. It'd be ridiculous. 6 to 11 months' time. It'd be ridiculous to expect them to try to force that out like that, especially on top of this. They'd have to figure out the chipset and everything that they want to go with this. And even then, that's a third item that you have to worry about playing games with. Like, that's the third item to add to this. What's the point of having the handheld be integrated with the home console if you're going to have a VR headset stuck to yourself anyway? You're not going to be able to use the handheld at all. It's just stupid. It literally, all that together is stupid as fuck. And if Nintendo did this, I would say it's stupid as fuck. Alright. The Nintendo NX will be assembled by Foxconn Electronics, Hon-Hai Precision Industry, but Foxconn declined to comment on matters concerning its clients and products. Again, they're under NDA. So why the fuck would they tell you? Why would they tell you anything? Like, every one of these articles that they've put out about the NX that have gone wildly popular for some fucking reason, they've said the exact same fucking thing. If they are doing stuff for Nintendo, they're not going to fucking tell you. They're never going to tell you. That's their money. Like, they would lose money because they would lose their contract. The sources pointed out that the Nintendo NX combines the video gaming experience with the mobile gaming experience. I just want to point out one thing. Mobile gaming and handheld gaming are different. Handheld gaming is comparable to console gaming, whereas you have a set hardware structure. Well, that's kind of changing. I hope. There's basically a set hardware structure for you to work from. Whereas mobile gaming is more comparable to PC gaming, whereas there's not necessarily a set hardware configuration to work from, but you do have a baseline that you can work with and build up from there. Ugh, man, fucking idiots! I swear, it's just ugh. So yeah, mobile and handheld gaming are different. They're not the same thing. They're both portable gaming, but they're not the same thing. And I'm sorry, I had to clarify that. The device features a 5 to 7 inch display, so there's no set size on the display, but you're claiming to have this information, but you don't know a set size on the display yet. 5 to 7 inch display, controller and joystick for users to play as a mobile gaming product. But it is also able to connect to a TV for users to play as a video game system. So basically what they're saying this is one of the Android boxes. Well, not one of the Android boxes, but one of the Android pseudo game consoles. Like the JXD, damn it, I had this thing, but mine broke. Like, well, my kids broke it. Like the JXD line, because they're a Chinese manufacturer that makes a lot of those Android consoles and portables and stuff. Like, that's what they're saying this is. And like, and that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for Nintendo to do it that way. Honestly speaking, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for them to do it that way. Because of the fact that, like, doing something like that can make it easy to be destroyed. Like, it's something that small being used dual function like that, it's one, is easy to have it broken. Two, like, that will burn out the processor really quickly. Like, that would definitely burn out the processor in it, because then it will have to ramp up output in order for it to display on the television screen, which would cause heating issues. And like, I know that because I've done it with the Android tablet that I had that did the exact same thing that they're describing. Like, that thing got hot as fuck whenever I plugged it into a TV and tried to display stuff on the television screen. It got extremely fucking hot. Nintendo is now planning to add VR function to the device to satisfy the popular trend in the gaming market. What? Okay. I understand that a lot of people are talking about it, and a lot of people are saying that they want VR. But there are no sales numbers on VR whatsoever right now. There are no official sales numbers on VR. So, I calling it the popular trend at the moment. Yes, it's a popular concept, but it's not a practical one for gaming, because there are not very many people who have the money for it, and two, have the space required for it. So, think about that one. Nintendo smartphone games have received positive feedback from gamers. No. No, 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 no. Nintendo's smartphone application has received positive feedback from users. I like how they just blend these words in when they're not the same thing. Miitomo is not a game. It's an app. It's nowhere near a game. You can have fun with it, but it's not a game. Since Nintendo's launch of Miitomo, the number of players of the game has already surpassed 10 million. The number of users for the game has surpassed 10 million. I mean, not game. The number of users for the application has surpassed 10 million. While Nintendo's Animal Crossing, which involves social activities, has sold over 20 million units on the company's 3DS system. Okay, Animal Crossing is a game. But 3DS is a handheld. It's not a mobile. It's not the same thing. The sources pointed out that supply chain received Nintendo's notification to start developing mold for the NX in mid-2015. It was told that the system would enter mass production and launch in mid-2016. You start mass production before you launch. Just stating, like, okay. Damn phone going off. Here's the thing. You wouldn't start mass production of something after you've launched the product. You would start mass production of it before you launched, like within a short window, not like an extremely short one like they want to detail here. But you would start mass production of it before launch, especially if you're doing a worldwide release, so that there are at least a decent amount of units out to the public to get. You wouldn't launch it. This is for example. Say Nintendo was to launch the NX today, whatever the hell it is, they would launch it today. But they didn't have any units put together, or they didn't have enough units put together. You wouldn't see the thing on store shelves at least for a month. Because especially over here in the U.S., because you have to think about all the importing things takes a while. There's items that are imported in from different countries they have to be held at customs for a while before they're shipped out to where they go. So yeah, no. Start development and was told that the system in 2016. I already read that. However, Nintendo has recently given them a new mass production schedule and asked them to start mass producing some key components at the end of 2016. Okay, here's my question. If Foxconn won't talk to you, Foxconn Electronics won't talk to you, who's your source? Because you keep going back to them, and they decline commenting. But then you bring out all this information. Who is the source? Who is giving you this information? Who's feeding you this bullshit? That's my question. Who's feeding this to you? I'm sorry. I'm not one to typically trust this type of information without a proper sourcing to it. All right. Nintendo's order volume for the game console has been reduced. Nintendo originally planned to order 20 million units for the first year, but its shipment target is now only 9.5 to 10 million units. Or maybe they never had that fucking number in mind, and now you're just changing your bullshit to try to make up for what was fucking wrong. Like, Nintendo wouldn't be stupid enough to think that they're going to sell 20 fucking million units of anything in one goddamn year. One, after following the Wii U's performance retail-wise, and two, they didn't make that many units with the Wii in one fucking year. So, no. I doubt that that's what they thought. I don't think they'd be that dumb to aim that high after having such low numbers for a home console product. It'd be ridiculously fucking dumb. This is all I'm saying. The sources believe the reduction was due to the fact that video game console market has been shrinking and concerns triggered by its Wii U unsatisfactory shipment performance of 2 million units in 2015. I'm just going to point this out, and I'm going to point this out again. Just think about this. Think about this for a second. Just think about this for a second. The Wii U has not been performing well in the home console market basically since its inception. I mean, yeah, sure, it did good right out the gate, but after that, it hasn't really done very well. It hasn't exactly done horribly bad, but it hasn't really done good either. So, just think about that. Just think about that. Just let that simmer for a little bit. Although Pegatron Technology has been aggressively looking to take some of the Nintendo NX orders from Foxconn, Nintendo still decided to give Foxconn over 40% of the orders, while the remaining is handled by Japanese-based Misumi and Hosiden. I think I said that right. Hosiden. Taiwan-based component suppliers for the Nintendo NX include Foxconn Technology, Micronix International, Pixar Imaging, and Delta Electronics. Now, again, being the thinking person, not being in business, but just thinking about this, this does not make sense. Firstly, they're literally telling you the person that the company is supposed to be the biggest supplier for components for this device is not going to talk to them. But then they go and tell you a bunch of shit that they've heard from who? Who is this information coming from? Who is feeding this information to them? Oh, and that 20 million units for the first year back knocked down to 9.5 and 10 million units. Even though I still think that number in and of itself sounds unrealistic. That sounds better than the fucking 20 million in damn near 2 months. Like, even if you were giving the full 12-month calendar year, that still sounds stupid as fuck. Because that would mean that they're producing that many units to expect them to sell. Not that they're expecting up to that many units to sell. That means they're producing that many units and they're expecting that shit to sell. Okay. Here's just think about this. Think about this. 11 months from now. 11 months. Basically 12, because it could launch at the end of March if it launches in March. 11 months from now, they should be able to have around 10 million units produced if they're producing them now. If they're mass producing them right now, they should be able to have that many units put out. Because you know that they're not going to be spending a whole lot to mass produce them right off the bat and not have them sell. That was the problem with the Wii U. They had a lot of them that just didn't sell. They're just still sitting on store shelves in certain places. Not everywhere. Some places they're sold the fuck out. But then there's other places where they're still sitting on store shelves, and like a few of them. Okay. They put this stuff out there, but like, just say they just think with me here. If they put out 10 million units of whatever the NX is, and they only sell out 2 million units in the first year, they have to pay for the other 8 million units to be housed. They have to keep paying money for that shit to be housed. Do you really think Nintendo's going to go out there, like, and that's why that 20 million number sounded fucking dumb as hell? Do you really think Nintendo is going to willfully throw that fucking money away like that? I'm sorry, the Nintendo I know are penny pinchers, and I'm glad they're penny penny pinchers. So no, this doesn't sound good. Honestly, if to be realistic, I would say 5 to 6 million units within the first year. That's plausible to say something like that. I mean, it's honestly, I probably wouldn't expect better than what the Wii U did in the first year. But 5 to 6 million units sounds more plausible again than 10 million units or that ridiculous ass 20 million units. All that sounds like BS. It just sounds like something someone said to just draw attention. Actually, this whole article sounds like a lot of stuff that's just said at random to draw attention. And I'm like, oh, honestly, I really don't care if Nintendo does VR or not. But the way this is talked about is fucking ridiculous. Like, so they're basically saying the NX itself is a handheld that you just plug into the TV. It's going to have HDMI. Well, obviously, it'll probably have HDMI output and or component output of some kind. Biggest problem with that is that would create a lot of heat on that little handheld unit if they did it that way. It would create a lot of heat. Then on top of that, you wouldn't really be able to use it as a controller and a display because you'd have to put it down in order to be able to play games on it. Because you would have to have everything plugged in. Because you would not use something like that and not plug it in anywhere. It's impractical. And on top of that, there wouldn't really be a good way to manage the heat on a handheld product that way. I mean, that's just my thinking. Just my thinking. And then you want to throw in VR functionality with that. And definitely be more, and cause more power, cause it to ramp up the heat more and more power. It would burn the fucking thing out. It would literally burn it out. The more displays a small, put it this way, the more displays that a CPU has to run, the hotter it's going to run. Especially if there's no cooling solution added into it. Sounds very fishy to me. Very, very fishy to me. But hey, I'm just a Nintendo fag, I guess. Like, I'm here to defend everything they do, even though I don't like some of the shit that they do a lot. I'm just here to defend everything. No, I'm not. But this should be common fucking sense. Should say something to you. And what the bad thing is, when I look at this article, there are no comments on this fucking article, but this is the source of the information that everybody's using. Not one of them fucking commented on this article. But they ran with that bitch. Again, from the same company that has been inaccurate 2 fucking times, majorly. Same fucking news group that's been inaccurate twice. Majorly inaccurate. Twice. I don't get why people are fucking listening to them. I don't. I really don't get why people are listening to them. But on the off chance that they are right and I am wrong, I'll admit it. This just doesn't sound. It doesn't sound like it would happen. This sounds so improbable. But I'm done with that. I really am. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears up for more stuff from me. And until the next time, please enjoy your games. Peace out.